Okay, so where do I even start with this absolute mess that General Hospital has cooked up this week? Because honestly, I've been staring at these spoilers for like an hour trying to figure out how to explain what's happening with Michael and Willow and Tracy. And now apparently Nathan West is back. Except he's probably not really Nathan West. And I'm getting ahead of myself. But you guys, this is wild, even by soap standards. So Michael got arrested for shooting Drew, which is already bananas because we all know he didn't do it right. Like, we've been watching the show. We know Willow is the one who shot Drew in some kind of rage blackout situation that the show keeps dancing around but never fully commits to, showing us clearly, and now Michael is taking the fall, and the kicker, the absolute kicker, is how he's getting framed. Let me back up, because this whole key situation is so convoluted, I need to walk through it step by step, or I'm gonna lose you. Tracy Quartermain, bless her scheming heart, had Scout's key. Scout, as in Drew's daughter Scout, and Tracy being Tracy, she made a duplicate of that key so she could break into Drew's mansion and steal back the Quartermain heirlooms that Drew had because of course he did. Everything always comes back to those damn heirlooms, doesn't it? Like, at this point, I'm convinced those heirlooms are cursed or something, because they cause more problems than they're worth. But whatever. That's a rant for another day. So Tracy has this extra key, the duplicate, and somehow Martin Gray gets his hands on it. Martin Gray, who is, let's be honest, kind of sketchy in his own right, but at least he's entertaining about it. But then, and this is where it gets really messy, Martin turns the key over to Willow. Willow, who at this point has basically become a villain, and I know some of you are going to come at me in the comments being like, she's been through so much, she almost died. She has trauma, and yeah, okay, I get it, but also, the woman shot someone and is now actively framing her ex-husband for it, so let's maybe not give her too much benefit of the doubt here. Because what does Willow do with this key? She plants it on Michael's keyring. Just puts it there. Sneaky, sneaky. Under the pretense. I love how the spoilers call it a pretense because it's so accurate under the pretense of considering Michael's custody offer, which was 60-40, by the way. Not even asking for 50-50. Michael was willing to give her more time with the kids. And she still couldn't handle it because Willow will never be satisfied until she gets full custody. And like, can we talk about that for a second? When did Willow become this person? I remember when she was the sweet kindergarten teacher who was just trying to do right by her students, and now she's out here shooting people and planting evidence, and I don't know if it's character development or character destruction, but either way, it's exhausting to watch. Maybe I'm being too harsh. No, actually, you know what? I'm not being too harsh because this is genuinely unhinged behavior. So now Michael has this key on his keyring that he doesn't even know about. And the police or whoever is building this case against him finds it, and it's like AHA evidence, except it's not really evidence of anything except that someone put a key on his keychain. But try explaining that to the Port Charles Police Department, who couldn't solve a crime if the criminal walked up and confessed directly to their faces. But here's where it gets good. Tracy finds out about the arrest. Tracy finds out about the key. And Tracy being Tracy loses her mind. Because here's the thing about Tracy Quartermain that the show has been building up for literal decades. At this point, she is fiercely protective of the people she considers family. And Michael. Michael is her great-nephew, or whatever the exact relation is. Family trees on soaps are complicated. But the point is, she loves that boy. She's fond of him. The spoilers literally say she's quite fond of him, which in Tracy speak means she would burn down the whole town for him. So Tracy putting together that Willow planted this key to frame Michael. Oh man. Oh man. Hurricane Tracy is coming and I am here for it. The spoilers say Tracy is going to vow to make Willow pay big time. And honestly, good. Someone needs to hold Willow accountable because so far everyone has been tiptoeing around her like she's made of glass and meanwhile she's out. Here committing crimes left and right. Shooting Drew, framing Michael. Probably doing other stuff we don't even know about yet. Because this storyline keeps getting deeper and messier every single episode. But, and this is a big but, Tracy's credibility with the PCPD is basically non-existent at this point. See, Tracy has lied to cover up for Michael in the past. Multiple times, probably, I'd have to go back and count, but it's definitely happened. So when she marches into the police station or wherever and tries to explain that no, Michael didn't do it, here's what really happened, they're just going to be like, okay, sure, Tracy, we definitely believe you this time. Sarcasm. Heavy sarcasm. You can practically hear it dripping off the cops' faces already. And then there's the Martin Gray problem. Because Tracy could try to pressure Martin into backing up her story, right? He's the one who gave Willow the key in the first place. He could corroborate at least part of what happened. Except Tracy and Martin hate each other. Or at least have mutual animosity according to the spoilers, which is such a polite way of saying they can't stand being in the same room together. So is Martin really going to stick his neck out for Tracy? Is Tracy really going to ask for help from someone she despises? It's a whole thing. A slippery slope, as the spoilers say. But you know what's actually kind of brilliant about this situation? The key has Willow's fingerprints on it. Willow's fingerprints are on the key. Like, this should be case closed, right? Forensics 101 check for prints. Oh, look, here's Willow's fingerprints all over this key that was supposedly Michael's the whole time. That's suspicious. Maybe we should investigate further. Except, this is the Port Charles Police Department we're talking about. The same police department that has let how many crimes go unsolved over the years. The same department that regularly arrests the wrong people and lets the actual criminals walk free. So do we trust them to actually check for fingerprints? Do we trust them to do literally any competent police work? The answer is no. The answer is absolutely not. And speaking of the PCPD being a disaster, can we please talk about Nathan West for a second, because what even is happening there? So, Nathan West is back. Except he's been missing for 7 years. 7? That's not like, oh, he went on vacation and lost track of time. That's 7 entire years of being gone, and now he just shows up and is apparently a detective again. Just like that, no questions asked. The spoilers call him a flannel-clad imposter, which is both hilarious and concerning because, like, is he actually Nathan? Is he not Nathan? Is he Nathan, but he's been brainwashed by the DVX or Cassadines or whoever is running the evil organization this week? We don't know. The show hasn't told us. But what we do know is that there's simply no way he can come back after 7 missing years and know what he's doing as a detective. And that's just facts. That's not even me being snarky, that's just objectively true. You can't disappear for 7 years and then waltz back into your old job like nothing happened. Especially when that job involves solving crimes and knowing all the current cases and understanding the dynamics between everyone in town. This man missed everything. He doesn't know about Willow and Michael's divorce, he doesn't know about the Drew situation. He probably doesn't even know half the people who live in Port Charles now, because the cast has changed so much. So now we've got an incompetent police department being led by a detective who may or may not even be who he says he is, investigating a crime that the wrong person is being accused of, while the actual culprit is running around planting evidence. This is fine. Everything is fine. But let's get back to Tracy, because Tracy is really the heart of this story, at least for me. When Tracy's ire is raised, as the spoilers so eloquently put it, the stakes for Willow become exponentially higher. And honestly, Willow should be scared. Because here's the thing about Tracy that makes her dangerous. She doesn't play by the rules. She doesn't care about going through proper channels or filing complaints or letting the justice system handle things. If Tracy thinks you've wronged her family, she is coming for you directly, and she is going to make your life miserable in ways you didn't even know were possible. The spoilers mention that Willow can't be arrested for shooting Drew because of double jeopardy. Which, okay, fine, that's a legal thing, I guess. Though I'm not entirely sure the show understands how double jeopardy actually works, because they tend to be pretty fast and loose with legal concepts in general. But even if Willow is legally protected from being charged with Drew's shooting, that doesn't protect her from Tracy. Tracy isn't going to arrest Willow. Tracy is going to destroy her. And the spoilers hint at this. They say Hurricane Tracy has no issue taking the law into her own hands, which is both exciting and terrifying because we all know what Tracy is capable of when she's motivated. She's going to come after Willow's reputation, her custody case, her relationships, everything. She's going to make Willow wish she had been arrested because at least in jail she'd be safe from Tracy's wrath. The spoilers end with this great line about how Willow could be better off dealing with the real authorities rather than Tracy and, what? Yeah? Probably true. The PCPD might be incompetent, but at least they have rules and procedures and Miranda rights. Tracy has none of that. Tracy has rage and resources and decades of experience manipulating people and situations to get what she wants. So, what happens next? Where does this story go from here? Well, Michael's probably going to stay in jail for at least a few episodes because soaps love to drag out the wrongful imprisonment storyline. We'll get scenes of him looking sad behind bars, maybe some visits from Diane or Carly or whoever his lawyer is this week. There'll be court hearings that go badly, evidence that seems damning. Everyone will be very concerned. Meanwhile, Tracy will be working behind the scenes trying to figure out how to prove Willow's guilt and get Michael exonerated. She'll probably clash with multiple people. Martin, Willow, obviously, maybe even Michael's own family if they think she's going too far or being too aggressive. Tracy doesn't care. Tracy is on a mission, and Willow's going to keep trying to play innocent while also trying to figure out how to cover her tracks now that Tracy knows the truth. She'll probably have scenes where she's fake crying about how difficult all of this is for her, how she's just trying to protect her children. Blah, blah, blah. And some people will buy it. Some characters on the show will totally believe her because Willow has gotten very good at playing the victim. But Tracy won't buy it. And neither will the audience, honestly, at least not most of us. We've been watching this train wreck unfold for weeks. Now we know what Willow did. And we're kinda ready for her to face some consequences. Like, it's been a lot of watching her get away with everything, and at some point the show needs to let the other shoe drop? The question is whether the writers actually have the guts to follow through. Because General Hospital has this habit of building up to big confrontations and then pulling back at the last minute. They'll tease that someone's finally gonna get caught or exposed, and then suddenly there's a distraction or a misunderstanding or some convenient plot device that lets them wiggle out of it.